afternoon, South Africa, and a very warm welcome to you. This is Afternoon Express, and my name is Jeannie D. I trust that you're having a wonderful week. Thank you so much for joining us. Now, in every era, there are songs that define the mood of people. The 90s had a very distinct sound when it came to music, but one sound that was loved throughout the whole world was the sound of reggae. Today on the show, we meet Chevelle Franklyn, a household name, most famous for her song Dancehall Queen and her collaboration with Shana Morland, to name a few. We also chat to fashion designers Shana and Stefania Morland about their respective clothing brands, and they will also be showcasing their spectacular collections a little bit later on. Plus, we have an informative conversation with the growth head of DirectAxis, Mocheko Chaka, on the show about blacklisting. So later on, we also meet influencers Mpumi Phumeza and Phumeza about how women can uplift each other. And we chat to Fazila Ali about nutritious food for your adorable pet. So connect with us via our social media platforms and tell us what you would name your fashion brand. And tweet us at Afternoon Chat using the official hashtag Afternoon Express, or comment on our Facebook page.
What to name my clothing label? Maybe Foodaholic, Foodalicious, anything that has to do with the kitchen, because my name is Palisa Dembe, coming to you live from my favorite place in the entire world. And with me is Miss Sweet Treats herself, Miss Michaela. How are you doing?
Good, thanks to you, Palisa.
I'm doing so good today. I'm doing even better because we've got some Clover Authenticos in the kitchen.
So today we're going to be making some delicious, somewhat healthy, chopped chip peanut butter breakfast cookies. So those are going to be delicious.
That sounds like everything that we need. I'm not much of a breakfast eater, so I think that I'm going to need this in my repertoire of recipes.
A snack and go.
A snack and go is what we're looking for in the kitchen today. Now, back in the 90s, the worldwide hit song Mr. Loverman was the anthem to most events and a favorite on radio shows. Now, besides Shana Morland's catchy lyrics, the chorus is what caught the ear of most people, and it was sang by the talented singer called Chevelle Franklyn. Now, later on, Chevelle went on to become a household name and ventured onto reggae gospel music, making hits with people like Donnie McClurkin and our very own Ntokozo Mbambo.
Chevelle Franklyn, welcome to Afternoon Express.
Thank you so much. Thank you for having me.
Wow, what an honor to have you here with us today.
Thank you so much.
I mean, your voice was basically the soundtrack, I suppose, to so many people's upbringing. You,
wow.
I mean, I think there's not one person who would listen to the song by Shana Morland and not actually sing along to it. How do I go? I Mr. Love you, babe, Shabba. Okay, this is why I can't sing.
You sound good. It's okay.
You can do it, though. You can do it.
It's okay. You're sounding fabulous.
Oh, so tell us a little bit how you got into singing in the beginning. Like, what was your childhood like, and were you aware of your talent?
No, I was not really aware of my talent. Growing up in Jamaica, coming from a very poverty-stricken environment, I think I made a decision from that early age, when I was aware of myself, that I would not die like this. This is not my final destination. Wow. And so it so happened that I would sing to myself, and with that, I fell in love with music and I started to pursue it. And from then, I just on that track, and I decided that, you know what, I'm not letting go of this. It felt good, and when I sing for other persons, it would make them feel better. So it was just natural that I would just go in that flow.
I can tell you, I can sit and listen to you talk all day, so
really?
let alone singing.
Lord,
your voice is just, but even your speaking voice and your accent is just absolutely beautiful.
Thank you so much.
But now, a young girl from Jamaica, that must have been so difficult to get noticed and then to get picked up. I mean, what was that journey like for you? I
think it was very difficult, but I think the key is to be persistent. I remember there's different stages. I would go to Kingston, I'd be around all these famous people in Jamaica. At the time, I didn't really understood how important these people were to the music industry, but I would do the very things, like probably go and buy water until I moved from the studio gate inside the studio, and before you know it, I'm singing, you know, with the famous Dennis Brown, everybody who is anybody in Jamaica, people like Jimmy Cliff, then the Shana Morland, then the Beanie Man, then the Mr. Loverman came about. I just happened to be there at the time. And I was just, Mr. Lover, and they're like, that sounds good. And
Wow.
See what it's done today. So
talk about being in the right place at the right time. And then at one point, I mean, touring must have been intense. Your life must have been intense. And then at one point you said, I'm out. What happened? What was the catalyst for you saying, not doing this anymore?
I think for me, when coming from poverty, I always had this thing in my head that money would be the problem solver. Fame would be the problem solver. And then when I got the record deal and I was traveling to Paris, England, all over the place, I realized that the void was still there, the very thing, going into these exclusive parties with the Whitney Houston, the Janet Jackson, and being backstage and seeing so many of these celebrities and thinking, wow, they have it all. I realized they were as empty as me, even though they had the money and I was on my way, you know. I was like, wow, God, there's much more than this. It's more than being on stage and having the fancy stuff. I need you. And from that time, I began to cry out to God. And God strategically would position me, because there was a situation when I went to America at the Apollo Theater. There was this one gospel act that came on before me. At the time, I had the #1 song, a song called Dancehall Queen, which was done by myself and the famous Beanie Man in Jamaica. And I remember this gospel group went out before me, and they started singing this song, the safest place in the whole wide world, it's in the will of God. And at the time, I was standing right beside Steve Harvey, and he was saying, God is going to do a work. And then I began to break. I began to break, and I just said, God, please use me one day, just like you're using those people out there. And God heard me. And it so happened that when I went back home to Jamaica, on stage, it was Jamaica's independence around August 4th, and they had this massive show. And everybody was expecting to see their singer, because at the time, things was really, I was signed to the label, the song was doing well. The MC called me, and then God messed up my show. He just stepped in, and I just felt like my appetite shift. I no longer wanted to do the things that I thought that I needed to bring peace and joy and all of that. And in that moment, I began to tell them, okay, as of tonight, I'm going to serve God. Not knowing what would become of me, but I just trusted God in that moment, and I felt His peace. And from then, I've been on this path, and God has been good.
And you're serving Him in the way you know best.
Yeah, man. I mean, it has been a fantastic trip. It has been a fantastic journey. I'm telling you, there are moments, the challenges, but I just continue to push and trust God that it is not my mother who brought me into this world. He just used her to carry me, but He was the one who spoke me here, and He will take care of us. So, you know, I run with that.
You are outstanding, and we are so honored to have you here today.
You for having me.
I mean, you're in South Africa at the moment, recording your next album.
Yes, I'm in South Africa.
Well, all of our viewers love gospel music, so I'm pretty sure they cannot wait for that. But we're going to give them a little bit taster a little bit later, because you're going to be performing for us in the loft.
Definitely.
Thank you so much for being here with us today.
Thank you so much for having me. Thank you.
It's so good to have Chevelle back on South African shores. We are creating an international stage here on Afternoon Express, which I'm so excited for. Now, after the break, we have the growth head of DirectAxis, Umuchako Chaka, who wants to tell us everything that we need to know about blacklisting. Plus, we make the most delicious peanut butter choc chip breakfast cookies. So much to look forward to. See you after the break.
Clover Crush, 100% pure fruit juice packed with vitamins and no added sugar. Crush, your daily dose of goodness. Now also available in long life.
Made with love by Clover.
Registering for Pulse is free and easy. Visit directaxis.co.za/Pulse today.
Welcome back to Afternoon Express. Now, last week we talked about your credit score and how you can use a free online tool such as Pulse to find out what your credit rating is. And we have Macheko Chaka, the growth head of DirectAxis, here to chat about something that inevitably comes up whenever your credit scores are mentioned: blacklisting. Welcome back to the show.
Hi, Jenny. Good to be back.
Lovely to see you again. What exactly is blacklisting, and what does it mean to be blacklisted?
You know, blacklisting is a term that I don't often like to use, but it's the one that you do find being used generally because it's a catch-all phrase that defines when you find yourself in a situation where your credit profile doesn't reflect something positive and you can't get credit. So what's always very interesting for us in the industry is to always try and sort of explain to people so that they don't see it as something menacing, like there's some secret organization putting your list or putting your name on a list and then you can't get access. What it actually means is that most credit providers utilize credit bureau information, your credit profile, to grant you credit.
Yeah.
And when there's information on there that's not positive, for example, you've missed payments or there have been judgments against your name, you won't be able to get access to that credit. Okay. And then often it's defined as being blacklisted. What's important to clarify today to people is that when you do find yourself in that situation, you can take control by using a product like Pulse to know what's happening and then take actions to resolve it.
Okay.
Yeah.
But the word blacklisting, it's a little bit, or to be blacklisted, it's a little bit misleading, wouldn't you say?
Yes, yes, it is. It is a bit misleading. I guess what's always important to me is people must have a sense of control over their own lives.
Yeah.
And when it sounds like blacklisting, like something has happened to you, someone has taken an action against you.
Yeah.
And what's important to realize is that what's happening to your credit profile is a result of actions you've taken. And because you got yourself in a situation where the outcomes are that your credit profile isn't positive, you can also take actions in the other direction to correct it.
Okay.
And that's always what we have to stress, that you are in control.
What kind of behavior would you say affects your credit score? Like, how bad do you have to be?
Well, there are different degrees. For example, if you miss payments, then that gets recorded, and that can affect even your credit rating specifically, what type of interest you could get, and sometimes it could lead to the credit provider not making the decision to grant you credit.
Yeah.
Sometimes missing your payments over a series of times, and then the credit provider takes action against you and involves the law, a judgment could be placed against you. And getting yourself out of that becomes a little bit more tricky, but it still is possible to rehabilitate.
Yeah. What happens, well, what's the difference, I suppose, between having like a low credit score and being blacklisted?
So blacklisting, as the term itself, would cover the spectrum of that. So it would cover having a low credit score to having judgments.
So you're not necessarily blacklisted if you've got a low credit score?
Yes, yes. It just means that the credit providers may take a different decision about you because the score isn't as perfect. And then it falls into the definition of blacklisting, which is why it's not always so helpful to say that someone is blacklisted.
Yeah.
Because sometimes it could be a low credit score that can be improved rather quickly, or it could be something that's a little bit more severe, which will take longer time to rehabilitate.
Yeah.
But because it falls under this one term, it becomes very difficult to know what you have to do when you find yourself in that particular situation.
Absolutely. Yeah. And of course, you would find out if you can find out if you are in that situation by using Pulse. So to find out if you're blacklisted, to find out your credit score. But why else would you use an app like Pulse?
Well, I think what it does, it gives power back to you.
Yeah.
And, you know, Pulse is free, it's available. And with it, you can find out when your score isn't as perfect as you'd like or when judgments have been made. But sometimes credit bureaus get it wrong because the information is submitted about you whenever you take on credit. It tracks that.
Yeah.
And it gives you the opportunity, if it is incorrect, to fix it.
Yeah.
Because now you can realize, oh my goodness, it was affecting my life, but I wasn't aware of it. And in times where things are not going as perfectly as you'd like, your credit score isn't perfect, at least you know to what degree and what actions you can take. So the key is always being empowered, and when you're empowered, you can make a difference.
Yeah, tighten up. Cash is king.
Yes.
Just so that you can have a good credit score. Thank you very much for being here today.
Good to be here, Jenny.
It's always a pleasure seeing you. Now, blacklisting seems to be a term that can be quite misleading, and it's quite important that we all have access to our financial information. Please do go and check out Pulse from DirectAxis to find out more about your credit ratings and how you can improve it.
Clover fresh milk is way better. Made with love by Clover.
Knowledge is power, so let's make sure we kick off 2019 with good and clear credit ratings, no blacklistings here on Afternoon Express. Now, Clover Authenticos is a new, deliciously creamy, thick and nutrients range of Greek-styled yogurts. Infused with 10 vitamins, it is ideal for peckish moments and definitely an item to add into your lunchbox. So, what could be better than a buttery biscuit breakfast cookie? Well, a peanut butter chocolate chip breakfast cookie. And with all that goodness, I just want to know, where do you start? Now, if you want to try this recipe, do SMS the keyword Clover to 33650. SMSs are charged at R1.50 and free SMSs do not apply. I love a sweet treat in the morning because I'm the type of person that sucks in the morning. I don't want to talk. I've got zero energy. I know, but I need something to get me going.
Low mood people in the morning.
Low mood is an understatement. I'm zero mood.
Okay, so this is perfect for you then. Even you could make it. There's very little effort put into it.
Okay.
So basically, we are using the Authenticos yogurt. Sorry, this one is already open, so I don't want to tilt it.
Okay, cool.
We're going to be using the sweetened double cream version. There's 3 flavors. There's strawberry, honey, and this one.
Yeah.
This one is delicious.
I think that this one is my favorite because I'm a more plain type of girl, especially when it comes to the sweet treats. So I think that plain, original styled yogurt is the best. But I know a lot of family members love the strawberry and love the honey too. So we can also add this in the ingredients.
The best part is you can add your own toppings to this and make it into something completely different.
Okay, well, let's get into it.
Okay, so we're going to start off by adding all the dry ingredients together.
Okay.
So we have some oats, rolled oats. So this is a gluten-free recipe, which is great.
That is ideal.
Then we have some chia seeds, which are so good for you, high in omega-3. We have some allspice.
Would it be advisable to also soak? I know you can also soak your chia seeds.
Yes, most people make chia pudding, but we're going to keep these dry because what happens is we let the batter sit for a while, and the chia seeds then have time to expand by absorbing all the moisture from the yogurt and the syrup and the peanut butter, everything else.
Okay, cool. So for this recipe, need not soak.
Exactly.
Okay, cool.
So we just combine all of those together. And then we throw all our wet ingredients together. So we have some mashed bananas already. We have some melted crunchy peanut butter, everyone's favorite. Do you prefer smooth or crunchy?
I prefer crunchy because I'm a fan of peanut butter and I'm a fan of nuts.
Yes.
So I like the crunch. I like interacting with my food. And yours?
I also love crunchy. It has to be super crunchy.
It has to be. The more peanuts, the better, I think.
Definitely. And then we have some maple syrup. Everyone loves some maple syrup.
Could you substitute it with honey or maybe a different type of sweetener?
So you could definitely substitute all the sweeteners in this with something else. So we use brown sugar for that, but you could always use some coconut sugar, some honey, just to try and make it a little bit more healthy. Then we're going to use our Authenticos yogurt.
Let me help you.
Thank you.
Okay, cool.
Okay, so the Authenticos yogurt, it has a special Greek strain in it that was developed at the Agricultural University of Athens, specifically for clover, so that's great.
That's exclusivity. I mean, who can say that they have their yogurt all the way, specially made for them from Greece? Oh, I like that. Okay, and then do we add the dry ingredients then into the wet?
So wet, I always add dry to wet. Some people do it the other way around, but I think this works. And you just mix those all together.
So by the time we're done mixing everything together, do we put it straight into the oven tin or then do we add the chocolate chips?
So we add the chocolate chips once it's all mixed together.
Okay.
There's some left in there. And then, once this has been mixed together, we put it into the fridge to sit for about 10 to 15 minutes. That allows the sugars and the chia seeds to develop.
Okay.
Then once we're done, this is the kind of mixture we have.
Delicious. Okay, cool. And this is already dried out from the fridge. What's the next thing?
Yes. So you grab a little bowl.
Okay.
You could use a teaspoon or a tablespoon and just dish some off. But, you know, the hands...
It's okay, we can get dirty. We can get dirty and have some fun in the kitchen. Let's do this one and then do we put it straight on? Does it matter the size of the cookie?
Make them as big as you'd like to.
Okay, perfect.
I think another way of doing this recipe is instead of making rounds like this, you could take a bread tin and fill it.
Oh, I like that. Fill the entire thing with the loaf. And then you just slice it up as you go.
Exactly, it's like an energy bar on the go.
Oh, I love that. And you top it off with your bananas. Absolutely a sweet treat that I need to get stuck into. Now, that's absolutely yummy. Remember to SMS the keyword Clover to 33650. Now, if you would like to get back onto the health wagon, this one is for you. And we don't want you to feel left out. So in case you've missed it, here's a quick recap.
Made with love by Clover.
Now, much like relationship goals, we all have property goals and dreams of owning that house on the beach or that penthouse overlooking the city. Now, Private Property is encouraging you to share your property dreams and stand to win 10,000 Rand. To enter, visit privateproperty.co.za and search for your dream home. Then use the social media icons to share it to your Twitter or Facebook. And don't forget to hashtag and tag at Property SA with hashtag Property Dreams. It's that simple. Make sure that you share today for your chance to win, because the competition closes at midnight tonight. So T's and C's can be found on privateproperty.co.za.
A dream competition indeed. Now, after the break, we talk all things women empowerment with influencers Mpumi Phumeza and Phumeza Langa. I can't wait for that conversation.
Clover Crush, 100% pure fruit juice packed with vitamins and no added sugar. Crush, your daily dose of goodness. Now also available in long life.
Made with love by Clover.
Welcome back to Afternoon Express. Now, a young girl growing up in a small town with big dreams and heaps of ambition is a story we are all familiar with in our country. Fazila Ali has one such story and was able to start a thriving business with a little help along the way, and is now the managing director of K9 Foods. Welcome to the show.
Thank you so much.
So, I mean, your story is incredibly inspiring, especially when it comes to entrepreneurship. So, you're from Malmesbury originally, and when you were really young, you got involved in the dog food industry. What was your position and why were you passionate about it?
I can't say that I was passionate about pets at the time. I've always liked pets, specifically cats. But I could never, it was never the intention to go into the pet food industry. I just happened to find a job at in the admin at a pet food facility. And I think my motivation to go from starting as an admin clerk up ending as the MD in a period of 17 years was motivated by me wanting to know more. I've always been a curious person and I needed to understand things. So I've always been just driven that way, to understand things.
It's funny how things work out, and now you're certainly very passionate about it. So just starting off as an admin role, and now you own the company.
Well, that's the same company. I bought when I was the MD, and especially towards the last 2 years of the 7 years that I was the MD, I must be honest, I was getting bored. It was the same old things, and I've realized that there was no real growth opportunities for me within the business, short of me staying on for the next 17 years being an MD. I realized I've always wanted to be independent and start my own business. And the opportunity presented itself at the time through a few hiccups. But yeah, I ended up with K9. And 4 years later, we've got quite a nice facility running. Still a lot of challenges that we need to face. But yeah.
And I suppose proof is in the pudding, and you've shown that taking those massive risks sometimes are really worth it. And then you partnered with Woolworths, which must have been, you know, such an amazing meeting. I mean, what was that like when you get assisted by, you know, a company of that size?
I bought a pet company that produces frozen pet food. I thought that the type of product will fit in nicely with the Woolworths range. Got to Woolworths, and Woolworths said, no, we're not interested in frozen pet food. And the guy said to me, but we import quite a bit of pouches and other range. Would you be interested in doing that? And when I did my research, I realized, okay, we're looking at a couple of million. Where am I going to get that? But yet, saying that, I thought, got to Woolworths, says this is what is needed. And the team at Woolworths, especially on the enterprise development side, I can take my hat off for the support that they've given us, helping me setting up the business, doing the business plan, getting the funding, supporting me that way. And even now, with the challenges that we face on the production side, the technical team on the commercial side, they have been tremendous in their support through a business like ours. And it fits in with their plan of localizing businesses, and instead of doing imports, have that import replacement program running. So it was just been amazing support from the whole Woolworths team.
Amazing. And is it a case of that you learn as you grow? Or what are some of the things that you wish our viewers, like some of the things that you wish that you knew before going into a business like this? And what should aspiring entrepreneurs be very cognizant of when they're developing and building and growing their businesses?
I think the biggest challenge that you need to be aware of is trying to keep focused all the time. There's such a lot of moving parts that's happening at the same time, and such a lot of distractions that you can be sidetracked. I think that's the biggest thing that you need to know, and understand your product, understand what sets you aside from the opposition. Because when you go and present, whether it's any kind of service or product, whatever you go and present to your potential customer, understand what makes you different and set you aside from the rest. And be passionate about what you're doing and understand your product. And that comes through when you go and sit in front of that buyer and trying to sell a product and a dream, and telling them this is what you want to do and why you should be taken seriously.
Thank you so much for being here today and, of course, for inspiring us and inspiring all of us budding entrepreneurs. Thank you very, very much. It just goes to show the future is female.
The future truly is female, and we're continuing on the note of entrepreneurs. Now, you know, on Afternoon Express, we love to talk about successful women and female empowerment, which is why today we have entrepreneur, blogger, and content creator Mpumi Phumeza, and as well as writer, communications consultant, wife, mother, and the host of Sisterhood Hour, Phumeza Langa, to discuss female upliftment and the theory of success tasting better shared. Welcome to the loft, ladies.
Thank you so much.
How are you guys doing today?
Very well, thank you.
Now, we're continuing on the vein of uplifting each other within our communities. And the philosophy of success tasting better shared is iconic. What does it mean to each and every one of you?
Well, to me personally, success tastes success better. Oh my goodness.
Success tasting better shared. It's a tongue twister. It's okay.
What it means to me, it's about women putting each other on and supporting each other wholeheartedly and truly. And it's about coming together as women and seeing each other as not as competitors but as sisters, and ensuring that when we're working together, it's about wanting to see each other succeed all the time, and at every avenue looking for opportunities to share with one another.
Yeah. And I mean, that means celebrating each other, celebrating each other's milestones, and uplifting each other where we can, you know. And I think we've been taught to literally pit each other against each other, and it's like the worst thing ever. You know, we need to understand that women are not competitors to us. We are not in competition with each other.
And for me, that's the bottom line. I think you can go into any industry and you find some cattiness amongst each other, but today we're not focusing on that at all. And I feel like this is a call to action.
Yeah,
it's a call to action, success tasting better shade. It's challenging you to share your success with others. How would you like to see South African women supporting each other, uplifting each other?
Well, we know that a lot of people are on social media lately, and a lot of things are shared on social media, which can evoke a lot of different emotions from different people. And, you know, that could go anywhere from a little bit of envy to a lot of inspiration from different people, you know. And we just need to take that with a pinch of salt, and you need to understand that another woman's success is not a threat to your own success, you know. It's really important to take that in and not be afraid to approach other women as well, collaborate with other women. It's such an important thing.
Yeah.
And it's one of those things where, when we were saying in terms of inspiration, we need to find inspiration about what Mpumi does could inspire me to do something else. I need to be able to cheer her on and to be true and open about that. And to say to her, look, Mpumi, you're doing this really well. How do I step up my game? Or this is what I'm struggling with. Because as women, we need to stand together and be more united. Yeah, because individually, we were strong, but, you know, we could be really stronger. Yeah. So as united friends, we really are unstoppable.
We are unstoppable. What I like to say is that having your light shine doesn't mean dimming the lights of someone else. Absolutely, right? Yeah. And in terms of shining lights on business and entrepreneurship, if you guys had advice to any of our viewers out there who want to go into your specific career field, want to be influencers, mothers, wives, being successful in every avenue of life, what would your advice be to them?
Well, I think you really need to, one, follow your passions, and then you also need to study towards what you feel you love, you know? Like, we can't get away from that, you know? And we also understand that, like, in our creative industries, whether it's professional industries, wherever you are, there's always going to be gender inequality, and you know, you need to be a little bit stronger. Like, you have to really stand for what you believe in, and once you get to the top somewhere, you need to also open doors for other women. So it's really important that once you've studied everything you want to do, you need to approach other people, get mentorships. Like, studying is not a one-level thing. It's not just going to school. You know, you've got to find different ways to study, different avenues to learn and get inspired by other people. So it's really important to find what you love, believe in it, and then obviously just go for it.
Absolutely. I think passion is key here. Wouldn't you agree, Phumeza?
No, absolutely. Passion is one of the things that it's a key driving force. And for me personally, it's something that I tap into a lot of the time, especially when I'm like, what am I doing? Should I be doing this? Yeah. And how do I keep moving forward? And I will have my sisters come to me and say, you're doing great. Just keep going. Look what you've accomplished so far. And it also inspires me in terms of being a mom and a wife. I want to do more and I want to do better. And I need to take it a little bit easier on myself because we can get hard on ourselves a lot of the time, especially as women. And we need to remind pride ourselves. We're doing the very best that we can.
We are doing the best as we can, but it's so important for us to lean on each other and truly appreciate that success when it is shared. Thank you so much for coming through to the Loft, ladies. Absolutely amazing having you. And I'm sure the viewers have truly learned a lot.
Thank you.
Siyabonga. Now, I'm not sure about you, but I'm truly feeling inspired to get out there and be a part of creating, being part of the change that we all want to see in South Africa and the world. Now, I'm sure you will all agree that success does indeed taste better shared.
Great chat. Still to come on Afternoon Express, we chat to inspired designer Stefania Morland and, of course, Shana. Welcome back to Afternoon Express. Now, as the old saying goes, the apple doesn't fall far from the tree. So for Fashion Express today, we have a mother and daughter duo who own their own fashion brands in the heart of Cape Town. Stefania Morland, the mother of Shana Morland, has been in the business for a while now and is known for unique and playful pieces, while Shana is known for her technique and timeless pieces. Welcome to the show.
Thank you. Thanks for having us.
Wow. Welcome to the Loft, ladies. I have to tell you, I don't think there's a week that goes by that I'm not sliding into Shana's DMs going, I've just seen this dress, I need it, what color does this come in? Welcome to the show. I absolutely love your work. And Stefania, I think for years already, going into top billing days, you've always been dressing some of the most fabulous, glamorous women in the country, including me. So thank you so much for your absolute beautiful talent. What was it like growing up in your household? Were you always kitted out in the most amazing clothes that your mom made for you.
I was. Apparently, as a baby, you should buy ready-made clothing and cut everything up and remake it, so it was all special for us.
Wow.
It was a very arty family growing up. I've always been influenced with art and creativity and always been pushed to just make things with my hands and stuff.
Yeah. And Stefania, you are just such an extraordinary talent and you've got such a beautiful eye. But it must be so rewarding for you, I suppose, to see your daughter following in your footsteps.
And it's absolutely amazing. I'm so proud of her, and it's just so wonderful to see her involved. We used to start off together. I mean, she joined me after studying. Yeah. So, yeah, it was quite obvious that she has to fly, fly out of my little nest and start her own thing and build her own brand.
Yeah. And that's what I want to find out more about. I mean, you went straight under Mom's wing and you kind of ran with it. Was that by choice or was it because Mom was kind of like, hey, hint, hint, nudge, nudge, this is the industry?
No, it was just, there was no other avenue that I wanted to go into. Yeah. It was always just fashion. I'm so passionate about it. I wake up every morning, I think of what I'm going to make. I look at fabrics, I can just imagine pieces in my mind.
You know, they say never do business with family, but is it different with a mom and daughter? Like, do you have different relationships when you're working to what you have, like Sunday lunch? Is there a mentor role and then a mother role at other times, or is it basically...
I think it's all completely mixed.
Yeah.
I mean, obviously having her as a mother is the best mentor anyone could ever ask for.
I know, right?
Working with her was amazing.
And we're best friends.
Yeah.
We spend lots of time together.
Oh, that's so beautiful. And it's so lucky. You're lucky to have a mom as a best friend, I think.
Yeah. And someone who's so, like, young at heart.
Yeah.
And it's something not to be taken lightly. I mean, Mom, your styles are more playful and energetic. You're more structured in technique. Where do you think fashion is going, and are you quite intrigued by the pace?
We watch trends, but I always just feel when I design stuff, I always design with myself in mind. So I know if I will love wearing it, other people will also love doing it. So I don't. If they say blue and pink is in the season, I'm not going to do blue and pink. I'll just do what I feel. If I feel like doing blue and pink, I will. But it's
sticking to something timeless and classic, I think. Exactly. Please tell me you've had moments where you've just gone through your mom's wardrobe and going, oh, this is mine now.
Those are the major fights that we actually did have. I'm not very gentle with clothes.
No, she shops at my house. Even in my studio, she comes and shops for stuff.
Listen, you can invite me anytime. I'll do the same.
Yeah, clothing. She shops my
Can I slide in a +1 right there?
Do you think you're going to collaborate again anytime soon?
Definitely.
Yeah.
I think it's...
I would love to see
so much better going at things together than alone.
No, it is.
What an amazing support to have.
Very special. Yeah.
So we love your stuff. Can we have a look and see what you brought for us today?
Yes.
Tell us about the first look.
So I've gotten very much into matric dance dresses. So this is just one of the outfits. The black tulle is actually detachable, so you can take it off and it's just a more sleeker, slimline dress. And obviously I love textures, I love just classic shapes, embellishing things.
What I do love about the garments that you make is that they're always so feminine as well, but sexy, playful.
That's I want people to put on a dress, and the dress they must wear the dress mustn't wear them.
And I think for me, what's so crucial, especially being in the industry that we're in, there's so many events to attend. I mean, it's events after events, and a lot of time you want to look different, but not break the budget, right? So I love a good functional dress. The fact that you can take that tulle on and off, for me, is a selling point.
That's my reasoning, because matric dance, they don't want to spend a fortune, so it makes it more accessible.
I love that.
Take us through this one.
Okay, it's a little princess dress. I love sequins also, and I love texture, and I love the movement that a dress has.
Sparkle.
And sparkle everywhere. How do you get the sparkle? Is it underneath? Is it?
Yeah, it's underneath. So I also like layering. You can actually see her legs are shining through.
Yeah, that is so cute.
So I suppose if you wanted to, you could also do the same with this multi-layered ruffle tulle, where you have the mini cocktail dress underneath, full of the sequins, and then you can always add the tulle on top and have a nice evening gown.
Look at you, an aspiring designer.
I love it all, but I feel so inspired when we have guests like this on the show.
See, this is one of those things I'm pretty sure I slid into your Instagram DMs about. That top is everything. And the skirt, the whole outfit.
Yeah, that's a little, we call that the boxy top. We do it in all colors. I've been doing it for years. It just goes with everything. You can
And you can dress it up and down.
Yeah, and that's a skirt too. You can wear it with a little t-shirt and sneakers, and it's a whole different look.
Yeah.
I like doing
I'm coming to get
2 pieces.
Yeah. It's super cute because the cheekiness of the top, you can pair it with some great jeans, so that can be more daytime lunch with the girls, or you can have this iconic skirt with it. Change it up, a gala outfit, there you go.
Yeah, you can even just have a plain little cami dress and put that on and you dress for cocktails.
Now, Stefania, what I love about your work is your use of colour. You just get it.
Love colour.
Oh, I love how you love colour. Here's another outfit that I definitely
It's a
need.
little day dress, a little strolling around town dress. The print we designed ourselves, and
That is so sexy.
it comes in different colorways. And I love silk. Silk is just the best thing ever.
Silk is so... I mean, it lasts forever.
It lasts. People think it's delicate, but it's not. You wash it, no dry cleaning. You just wash it, hang it, iron it lightly.
And then it's done.
It's always luxurious.
And I love how it feels on the skin. Earlier when I was hanging the model, I loved feeling her up. I'm not... No, but for real, it's so soft and delicate on the skin. It's not itchy at all.
No,
love that fabric and your use of it.
Yeah, absolutely beautiful. Thank you so much for being here today.
Thank you.
And we're going to be doing a lot of shopping. Absolutely. Thank you so much for joining us. So we're going to reward you. Hit singer Chevelle Franklyn performs live in the Loft after the break. It's a definite must-see. And here.
One, two, 1, 2, 1, 2.
Chevelle, it's definitely your turn now.
Yeah, man. Good afternoon.
Good afternoon.
Good
Yeah, man.
afternoon.
That's exactly what I want to hear on this Thursday. Again, you're about to set our stage alight with a song called Amazing.
Amazing.
You've head over to gospel now. What's the song about?
The song is just talking about how good God is. We woke up this morning and there's nothing that we did while we get this opportunity to be here, and especially in our right mind. It's all God. He's amazing.
I love.
And because He's amazing, you're amazing.
You are amazing.
Hey.
Hell yes.
That's right.
Now, the combination of reggae and gospel is one that makes Chevelle Franklyn stand out from most gospel musicians. Hailing all the way from Jamaica, welcome Chevelle Franklyn, ladies and gentlemen.
Thank you.
So we're gonna have a nice Holy Ghost party. Are you ready? Come on, let me see you lift Him up. Lift Him up. So let me hear you say, whoa, Lord have mercy, say yeah. I mean say whoa, say yeah, say whoa, yeah. Oh, what a Savior, follow me, amen. Oh, what a Father, when me say, no one greater. Lord of mercy, Jesus, you're amazing. Watch out, I may say, oh, what a Savior. I may say, oh, what a Savior. Oh, what a Father. Say no one greater. Jesus, you're what we say. Call Him amazing, amazing, amazing. Just like you, amazing. Me say amazing, amazing, amazing. When me say, amazing. Lord of mercy, amazing, amazing, amazing. Good God, amazing. Oh, you're so good, you're amazing. Oh, Lord, listen. Say you show the world what love's all about. You conquer the grave. Say death for us was wiped out. Say to the glory of your name, we blaze nations with our praise. Say you're the undefeated one, to whom all glory belongs. Now we're living in our righteousness. Me say we're walking in our freedom. No stones will cry in my place. Jesus, you're the winning one. Come on, let me say you. I may say, oh, what a Father. Come on, let me see you wave your hands like this in the studio. Come on. Afternoon, I saw we big Him up. Jesus, you're amazing. Amazing, amazing. Good God, amazing. Oh, Lord. Say, Jesus, you're amazing. Yes, Lord. Listen. You put it, you're so amazing. Mighty God, you're amazing. Listen. You put the sun, the moon, the star, the sea in its place. La, 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 Lord. You're amazing. Every nation, know, every tongue confess the mention of your name. La, 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 Lord. You're amazing. To have you in my life is the best thing, the best thing. I know you can testify. Have you in my life is the best thing, Lord, the best thing. Oh, say what a Savior, say what a Father. I may say no one greater. Jesus, you're amazing. Say what a Savior. Oh, what a Father. Say no one greater. Jesus, you're amazing. Hey, amazing, amazing, amazing. Good God. Amazing. Lord, down, you're good, you're good, so. Amazing, amazing, amazing. You amazing. Amazing, amazing. My promise keeper. You're amazing. Oh, Lord, you're amazing. Oh, Lord, you're amazing. Yeah, man, bless up every time. God is good.
Ah, Chevelle, you are so amazing and you are so talented. Jamaica me crazy.
Ah, I love you.
Oh, you
You know how obsessed I am with you.
Thank you.
Speaking on the show today, all things women empowerment, all things women supporting each other, coming together. How would you like to see communities get more involved with each other, women uplifting and supporting each other?
It is, I think, is the most important thing for us to move forward, to put our selfishness behind and to just know that one wins, all win. One win, everybody win.
Absolutely. And we love having you here in Africa. It is your second home.
Yes,
so good, best of luck with your recording your album.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much. Thank you for having me.
We can't wait to listen to it. We'll have you again on the show once your album is released.
Yeah, man, I'd love that.
Oh, yeah, man, me too. Can't wait to see you again. Join us again tomorrow as we wrap up the week with a performance from Ms. D. Not this one. The other one.
I can't wait for that. Thank you so much for joining us, making our day every day. Otherwise, good night. God bless. See you tomorrow. Mwah.
Afternoon Express, made with love by Clover.
Another feel-good production.